All right, good day, everybody. Good day to everybody. Welcome back to the Formula Sports channel. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. As always, the support is much appreciated, man. I mean, we cannot emphasize enough how big of a game this upcoming game is later on this evening. It's a huge game, ladies and gentlemen. Win this, we get to the semi-finals of the Concacaf Nations League for the first time. And also, if we win this, we will book our spot in next year's Copa America. Big, 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 big deal. Seeing this game, this two-legged affair is a huge two games for the Jamaica Reggae Boyz. Seeing, by the way, quick clip before I get into the video. If the video quality is not the best, I apologize for that. If the video quality in this particular video is not the best, I do apologize for that. The internet connection right now might not be the best because of the weather scenario that is taking place. And speaking about the weather scenario, I'm a little bit surprised that this match is still going ahead. I don't really see any sign of it being postponed. It looks like it's going full speed ahead, so that's very interesting. I'm a little bit surprised to see that. All right, again, huge upcoming games for Jamaica. For those of you who don't know, by now we'll be playing Canada home and away. So the first leg is at the National Stadium this evening, 7 o'clock. If you can make it, it would be good. If you can't make it, I think nobody would wrong you. Rain has been falling like crazy. For starters, I want to say there's not a lot between these two teams, in my humble opinion. I think these games might be close. Right? I think these games might be close. So, yeah, not a lot between these two teams at all, in my humble opinion. Right? Demarai Gray is looking highly unlikely. And also Amari Bell as well. But I shouldn't say highly unlikely. Well, that's basically the picture the gaffer painted, that Demarai Gray and Amari Bell are serious doubts for the first leg. Hopefully they can make it, but if they make it, it will be, they are gonna have to do very late fitness tests. That's what the gaffer said, to determine if they are ready and if they can compete in this game. Amari Bell is a huge loss, no doubt. Huge loss, no doubt. But honestly, you see this Demarai Gray loss. If we lose Demarai Gray and Demarai Gray does not feature in the game later on this evening, it would be a huge loss. Seeing a huge loss. This Canada task would become a lot more challenging without Demarai Gray. Demarai Gray was not supposed to feature in this upcoming game. That is how important of a player Demarai Gray has become for the Jamaica Reggae Boyz. If he's not on the pitch, things look, the dynamics change big time, in my humble opinion. If Demarai Gray is not on the pitch, especially against such a big team like Canada, man, it would be a huge blow if we can't get Demarai Gray onto the pitch. I think Greg Lay can hold him on. But my thing is, one, Demarai Gray is such an important player to this team. And two, who's going to replace him? Who's going to replace him? Bobby Decard-Overreed normally plays in the midfield for Jamaica. Would he be moved out of midfield and put in the position where Demarai Gray normally plays? That's probably the most logical conclusion. But, at one of those positions, you're going to have a huge drop-off, in my humble opinion. Either, if Bobby Reid plays where he normally plays, literally there's nobody else in the squad apart from Bobby Reid who can do what Demarai Gray does. So that's just seemingly the logical conclusion to arrive at that Bobby Reid will play where Demarai Gray normally plays, and somebody else will fill the spot for Bobby Deckard over Reid. Seeing it's a big knock for Jamaica. We also have to talk about the Alphonso Davies threat, ladies and gentlemen. The last time we faced, I don't remember if we faced Alphonso Davies in Canada, but I definitely remember Alphonso Davies against us at the National Stadium, and the last time he was here in Kingston, Jamaica. Boy, to say it was a very warm time we are dealing with Alphonso Davies would have been an understatement, man. I mean, this guy is, I think many would agree with me when I say that he is the only out and out world class player that this confederation of Concacaf possesses. Honestly, I don't think there's any other player that you could look at and definitively say in Concacaf that this player is truly a world class player. Most of us watching this stream would agree Alphonso Davies is a world class player and a very dangerous player. I mean, when he runs at opposition lines, he unbalances and disorganized, drags people out of position, create space for others, draw people to him, that sort of a thing. I hope the gaffer has a plan to stop the Alphonso Davies threat, and he was asked about it in the press conference. Yes, there are other players Canada has that can hurt us, but Cannon, Jonathan David, Estacio, they have good players, apart from Davis, but we all know Davis is the main threat. As I said, the only player in CONCACAF you can look at. Like, generally speaking, most will look at Alphonso Davies and deem him to be a world-class player. There's no other player in CONCACAF that most people will look at and classify as a world-class player. One of the things I also want to talk about with these two very important upcoming matches is how much of a catalyst this could be if we get a positive result in these two upcoming games. If we got through, ladies and gentlemen, this could be a huge catalyst for the national team going forward. Think about the confidence that the Jaime Hallgrimsson camp, the Jaime Hallgrimsson squad would get if we beat Canada and go through to the semifinals, right? We'd be beating a top dog in CONCACAF, a team that just went to the World Cup the other day. It would be the biggest stripe in CONCACAF, the biggest team in CONCACAF that Jaime Hallgrimsson would have beaten. And I honestly think the group, the current squad, would grow tremendously from a morale standpoint if we were to get positive results against Canada in this upcoming game. So, I just wanted to state that, because I think it's a very important, thing that we need to look at. Yes, so, obviously the Copa America and the Nations League semifinals is the main goal to win these two games, to achieve, those two things. But it would be such a moral boost for this team if we beat Canada, and I think that would be very important going forward. I think it would serve as a catalyst. Interestingly enough, I was doing some research on this game, and one of the interesting facts that I came across was that I didn't even realize this. Jamaica has never been beaten in the CONCACAF Nations League to date. Now, part of that tenure, we would have played in the Nations League B. So all of that tenure, we weren't in the Nations League A. But still, we have played 14 matches all time in the CONCACAF Nations League. We have won 9 and we have drawn 5. So Canada is literally going to have to snap an unbeaten record in the CONCACAF Nations League to, you know, to get by us. That's an interesting statistic. I never realized that, to be honest. Very interesting statistic. All right. Quickly, Jamaica's record versus Canada. 6 wins for Jamaica, 7 draws, 10 losses. So we have beaten Canada 6 times, drawn 7 times, and we have lost to them 10 times. Jamaica scored 17 goals on Canada, right? And Jamaica has conceded 28 goals against Canada. So Canada has the upper hand in this tie, you know, which is surprising. Our recent history, we have been the better team, but overall, from the beginning of this fixture till now, you know, Canada has been the better team over us, and better than us by a good ways in this fixture. All right, this is also very important. I think you guys need to know this as well. Key piece of information. So you guys know this is a two-legged affair, right? Home and away. Most goals scored over both legs will determine who goes through. Is the first rule to determine who goes through to the semifinals. However, you know, if both teams are tied on the same amount of goals, then the away goals rule rather is in place for this two-legged affair, right? If it is still tied, you know, on away goals, and by the way, that's why it's very important to keep out Alphonso Davies and co at home. If it is still tied after, you know, both legs are finished, after the 90 minutes in both legs are finished, and the away goals rule is taken into consideration. If we're tied on away goals, then there will be an extra time and penalty shootout if it has to get to that. So there'll be an extra time after the 90 minutes after the second leg in Canada. And if still there's a winner yet to be determined, there'll be a penalty shootout. It probably best say how the second leg did take place in a Jamaica, you know, because we have to go to extra time and penalty shootout in Canada at BMO Field if a winner can't be determined after the 90 minutes after both legs. The away goals rule is not in effect during extra time. So if the game gets to extra time in the second leg, the away goals rule will not be in effect. Also, if the game gets to extra time in the second leg, there will be the option for an additional substitute and also the option for an additional substitute window. So in the regular 90 minutes, it's 3 substitution windows and 5 substitutions. However, in extra time, you have the ability, you have the option to make an additional substitution and also have an additional substitute window. So there is the possibility that in one game, it could go up to 4 substitution windows and a total of 6 substitutes for each team. Just thought that was a bit of important information that you guys might like to know. Hit me up in the comment section and let me know what do you think. You think Reggae Boyz is going to win this game? You know, let's see and let us hope. Seeing, knock up the likes button, subscribe and share, ladies and gentlemen. Free and easy ways to support the Formula Sports channel. Wishing the Reggae Boyz all the best in their encounter later on tonight versus Canada. Seeing, take care, stay safe, and until next time.